So what were you saying was the best burger? What was that place?
First of all, I'd like to welcome back all of our listeners for another weekly episode of rants and complaints and criticism on Game Chat. So I think the burger. So Brunner asked me if I ever eaten at Shake Shack. I did not realize that Shake Shack was a Northeast thing. And I said I think they're probably arguably the greatest burgers and shake and fries that you can get. And
Shake Shack.
it's hilarious. Do you know why it's called Shake Shack, right?
I don't think I've ever been to a Shake Shack. No.
So Shake Shack started out in New York City as a little shack. And there's like the first one I think is right by Central Park. It's just like this little white building with outdoor tables. And that's the Shake Shack. And they made hamburgers and shakes and fries. And it's kind of became a New York thing, and then went to New Jersey and Pennsylvania. But I personally think they're one of the best. So my top 5 would be Shake Shack, Whataburger, Five Guys.
Respect to Whataburger. That's all I gotta know.
A place called Fuddruckers. Have you ever heard of Fuddruckers? Do you guys have those?
Yes.
But
we used to have one down on my street.
Fuddruckers are really good.
Ever?
And I guess my
Yeah,
fifth
it's
would
Canes now, right?
Oh, it's
I think it is Cane's.
Where our old Fuddruckers used to be is a Canes. I miss Fuddruckers so much. And I remember that specifically that Fuddruckers in their arcade section, they used to have like an F-Zero game. And like if you had like your GameCube memory card, like you could stick it in and pick up. I miss that Fuddruckers.
that's pretty cool. So
That was cool.
Fuddruckers, man. So it's kind of hilarious. The first time I went to San Antonio, Texas, I was in San Antonio for 10 days for a conference. And so I left my hotel, and I'm always a little bit leery when I go somewhere I don't know the food yet. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to find something that's like, okay, well, I know what this is at least. And about a block away from my hotel was a Fuddruckers. So I must have ate at that Fuddruckers 8 times over the course of my 10 days. And it was like literally the same thing I would get back if I was in Boston at Fuddruckers in Boston. It was like, I'll get the pound hamburger, and it was crazy. And then that's where I found, I think I guys told you, the best tamales I ever had was like an old San Antonio. There was a guy selling them off a cart. And then Anthony was like, yeah, that's always the best, is the guy selling them out of the truck or the cart. And then...
Oh, yeah. We got a lot down here in Walmart's parking lot. You're going to see them everywhere. That's always a running joke we always say. And funny that we actually said that. I actually ran into one this weekend. It was a boy and a girl. They were like young, though. I'm going to say like 22. No, not even, like 24. They're like, in Spanish, they're all saying, like, it's best in town. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure it is. Like, I'm sure it's the best in town. I'm sure it's better than any store. And
Oh, I'm sure.
we'll send one up to the... We'll send a number 5 from Whataburger, too.
The only thing that scares me about like eating off a little cart or out of the back of the truck is like my fear is like, how long has it been sitting there? You know?
Oh, it's all good. It's protected by the Family Dollar bag.
Yeah.
The all recycled bag.
Oh yeah. That's always my biggest fear with it is like, okay, but it is always like that dude. I ended up going back to that tamale cart probably like 5 times in that 10 days also because it was just great.
Oh, yeah. In my work, there's this lady that comes in at the little stand and she sells burritos every morning. Everybody just comes in, hey, you want a burrito? Give me your money. What kind of burrito you want? Every morning. It's like she always comes in.
Let me ask you
Pretty good.
a question for you, Anthony. Are breakfast burritos really a Mexican thing? Or is that like is it an Americanized made up thing?
I want to say a Mexican thing.
Okay.
Because there's a lot more breakfast burrito combinations you could do with Mexican than...
Yeah, because from what I've seen, it's like that's something you can quickly make to go to work, right? That's like, oh, I'm going to make like, put this thing
my
together.
Dad, oh, yeah.
And then like head out to work.
Exactly what Brunner just said. Brunner, that's perfectly said that because my dad always does that too. Every morning he goes to Tony's burrito stand, grabs a quick burrito, and he always different one every day. Chorizo, dude. And honestly, I don't know up there in Maine how many breakfast burrito places you have.
We got a lot of places
everywhere.
We got a lot of places selling breakfast burritos, But their breakfast burrito is like a burrito, like whatever you want to call it's like a tortilla. You know what I'm saying? It's a burrito wrap, and then they fill it with egg, sausage, bacon, and it's like eating an egg McMuffin inside of a burrito. Okay, and that's what they call a breakfast burrito. Kind of what you'd go to McDonald's and get, or go to any one of the chains that sell it. And that's always kind of wondered me, because I'm like, I don't think that sausage is really prevalent in Mexico. I don't think that's a Mexican like eggs and sausage.
Chorizo. Chorizo more like, yeah.
But it's more like it's chopped up. It's not like a link.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like a kind of
more like weenie.
If
anything, they're more close to weenie, huh?
And it's always kind of like, I always thought it was kind of weird, like when I first started seeing them. But it does make perfect sense. Like, you could be driving down the road doing 80 miles an hour and eat a burrito. Just kind of keep it wrapped up and eating your burrito one-handed.
Oh yeah.
So it makes sense where.
Got coffee one side, burrito on the other.
Shit.
What is the best breakfast comp? Like, you wake up, get ready, you gotta go to work. What is the best breakfast? For me, it's going to McDonald's, getting a sausage McMuffin and a hash brown.
Oh, dude,
maybe a coffee, maybe a tea.
They used to make it at McDonald's. I don't know if they still do, but they were fire for a while, man. These things called McGriddles. Do they still make those?
That's still have them. Oh yeah, they're still good.
And basically, it's like a pancake. It's like two pancakes with like crap inside them. So, again, going back to like New York. New York has the best food you ever could eat. It's like just off like food carts and like in stores and like bodegas. And so you go in and you just get these sandwiches, and they basically will you hand them a honey bun. You all know what a honey bun is, right? Sticky buns?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And basically you get 2 honey buns, and they'll put like egg, sausage, bacon, squish it all on a honey bun with some cheese, and you're good to go.
That sounds good.
And it's like, okay, I got dessert, I got everything to go for the morning. My go-to breakfast is probably 2 cups of coffee, and then I love McDonald's hash browns.
Oh yeah.
And I finally found a place, a grocery store that we have up here, sells basically the McDonald's hash browns in a 40-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I'll cook like 3 of those in the morning, and then I'll put like 3 of those, and then I'll have eggs, and then I'll have like sausages, and I'll stack them all up on a thing, and then wrap it in tin foil, and that's what I eat.
Let me ask you something. Does it actually taste like the McDonald's?
Absolutely,
hash browns?
absolutely.
Really?
And oh my God, it's so amazing. Their name is Kavanaugh hash browns. Shout out to Kavanaugh. But if you literally put them in an air fryer, they're going to taste identical. Okay, I don't deep fry, but I assume if you deep fry, they'd be identical too. But if you put them in the air fryer, they taste identical. But you can bake them, and if you bake them a little bit long, they get just crispy, just like the McDonald's ones.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So they're pretty fire. They're good. They're good.
So something I gotta try. What's your best breakfast you want to get? Wake up, start the day.
I feel like if it's at a home thing, like what's at home, I stopped eating bacon. It's a lot of fat. I don't do coffee. I'm not a big coffee guy. I don't know. Like, I just can't get into it. You two love coffee.
I'm
I
drinking
just can't
coffee
get
right now
into
too.
it.
Yeah.
And then I just do like if it's at home, a bowl of cereal. If I'm not doing anything, I just make a bowl of cereal, or just a box of Kellogg's. That's all I need, or maybe some Fruit Loops.
That shit's all processed, man. That's worse. That's worse than the goddamn bacon, dude. It's all like high fructose corn syrup, dude. I don't know, man.
Yeah, and then if it's a to-go thing, then McDonald's hash brown.
Yeah, McDonald's hash browns are definitely
no
the worst.
McGriddles, no McMuffin, just the hash brown.
Dude, the Egg McMuffin, the classic Egg McMuffin, you still got to give that mad props, dude. That's still king.
It's good, dude.
It's still king.
Might get one tomorrow.
And then they had the.
We'll put a picture on me getting it tomorrow.
Do they have the Canadian bacon down there? Where like the round bacon?
I don't think so. No.
So up here you get this stuff. It's called Canadian bacon, and so you go get your Egg McMuffin, and it's basically ham, but it's round, and so it's like you get your your muffin, English muffin, your egg on there, and then you have the little piece of ham that they call Canadian bacon for some reason, and then a piece of cheese. Oh my God, that's good. Or you can get regular bacon, or you can get sausage.
Yeah, regular bacon.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been craving a sausage burrito.
Yeah.
But I'll get a McMuffin for sure. Cause we gotta get it.
McMuffins are good.
Send a picture.
It's
I'll send a video of me getting the McMuffin. We'll put it on while we're talking about this.
eating the McMuffin with a classic wrap.
Eating the McMuffin. We'll put it in with the McMuffin at work.
But I will tell you, the person that is sneaky, has the greatest breakfast fast food ever is Burger King.
Really?
Whoa.
They got this thing, and sometimes I'll do this because we have a Burger King and a McDonald's across the street from each other. I'll go get my hash brown and stuff at McDonald's, my hash brown, and then I'll go across the street and I'll get French toast sticks.
That's a good one. How much are they up there?
I don't know. I think the hash browns are $1 maybe. Maybe it's our $2 for $1.
No, the
French toast stick. They're $1. They're on the dollar menu.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they a dollar menu here, Brunner?
I don't know. I don't go to Burger King for breakfast.
Yeah, well, I gotta check that out, honestly.
Dude, and they got a sneaky one too, honestly. The Whopper, don't sleep on the Whopper, man. That's
Whopper's
a pretty
good.
The Whopper in the morning?
well, not in the morning, but the Whopper is
yeah.
another hamburger that I'd put on my list. Sometimes you're in a mood. The Whopper's a good burger, man. That's it.
It is a good burger.
It's
Better than McDonald's.
yeah, I don't like McDonald's burgers.
McDonald's burgers are too dry. It's just meat and bun. Maybe a Big Mac, but it's a regular burger. I don't like McDonald's burgers. That's why. Thank God we have Whataburger down here.
Yeah, it's funny. Is the only way we ever eat burgers. There was a point where I don't know. It must have been in high school, or maybe I was just out of high school, and McDonald's had this special for like a month long, and it was to celebrate, like, I don't know if it's their 50th anniversary or whatever it was, but it was like some sort of big anniversary, and they were selling cheeseburgers for $0.10 and hamburgers for $0.05. It was like the original price of the original whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so me and my buddy went in and we bought 500 hamburgers.
Damn.
And we told them we want 500 hamburgers. We don't want no dressing or anything. We don't want no ketchup or anything on them. And we had them all individually wrapped, and then we went home and froze them, put them in the freezer, and then we'd like take them out and like throw them in the oven like for a time or whatever, and then we'd have burgers whenever we want. And it was like they were so pissed at us. And it was hilarious. We let me figure out the math on that. I forget what it was. It was like $20 worth or something.
Yeah. Going back, like, what is it? Especially now, these prices, like a large McDonald's hamburger with fries and a drink is like what, like $9-10, Anthony?
Oh yeah.
And then it's the same
right?
thing.
Oh,
yeah. And it's the same thing at Whataburger, but Whataburger's portions are like twice as bigger. Like, I feel like you get more fries, you get a huge drink, and you get a huge, heavy burger for about $9-10, the same price.
Tell him, bro. Just tell him. Whataburger for the win.
Whataburger, dude. I'm not. It's. Hey, I wish.
No argument there.
No, I wish they were up here. I really, honestly do.
Right.
Another thing too. I wish was down here, and you've been here. Is Wahlburgers. Have you had a Wahlburgers lately?
I have had a Wahlburgers. They were good. It's
not fast food, right?
burger?
It's a dine-in.
Well, no, I got it to go. So I had it to go. I didn't eat like at the restaurant, but you can. But the thing is, like, Wahlburgers is kind of like a
Denny's.
No,
Not like a Denny's. It's like a Chili's.
It's not even like a
Chili's
chili.
burger?
It's kind of like I want to call it like a gourmet hamburger.
Yeah,
It's the best way to kind of put it. Like, you go in and you order it, and like you get like all these different types of hamburgers. Like they'll have like an all-American burger, or they'll have a bacon burger, or they'll have, Mexican burger maybe, and it's like different stuff on them. And it's kind of like going to more like a diner and ordering a burger, as opposed to going to like place. It's kind of like almost like Five Guys in a way, but a little bit more cleaner than a Five Guys. Like Five Guys to me is, I love Five Guys, but you can walk in a Five Guys sometime and be like, dude, man, I don't know if I want to eat here. This place is fucking filthy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's like peanut shells all over the damn place, and it's just because they're always
Texas Roadhouse.
you know, it's just exactly. And it's like, but it's like they're always just because they're always busy. You know what I'm saying? And they probably don't clean it up until the end of the night or whatever. And it's like, okay, but boy, they're French fries. There's something to be said about Five Guys fries, man.
Yeah.
No argument there.
And it's hilarious if you ever notice when you walk into Five Guys and you look up above they'll show you on the side where the French fries are from that day. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I think so.
And so sometimes we'll be because I'm in Maine, sometimes they'll be the potatoes were from Maine. And sometimes they're from Idaho or Iowa or whatever. But it was just kind of funny is that I was like, that's kind of funny. But they're okay. I mean, but really, anything's better than Jack in the Box. You guys got those there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cracking.
I've had it once. Never again.
Yeah, Crack in the Box.
It's like a once and done. Right?
Yeah. That's somewhere you end up when you're drunk, man. That's where you end up. And
How
you're
about?
like, oh.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's somewhere where it's like you're really hungry and all the places are closing. It's like, okay, what's open? It's like, oh,
Yeah,
Jack in the Box
exactly.
is open.
You know what's low key good though? Carl's Jr.
Really?
Yeah, I wish we had them up here. And what's funny is we used to have Hardee's, and Carl's Jr. was Hardee's, and so they all closed, and they kind of went more regional, like in the South and Southwest, and we don't have them up here anymore. So we don't have Hardee's. We don't have Hardee's, Carl's Jr.'s, Checkers, Bojangles. We don't have any Bojangles.
I don't know what Bojangles either.
Yeah, that's
You have
that's a Sean
Arby's
type
up
of
there?
Oh, we have one Arby's, and I think they're on the borderline of getting ready to close. And
We just had an upgraded Arby's recently.
which is weird because Arby's is kind of like low key, all right. They have a decent hash brown too. And I'm all about the potatoes apparently.
Hash brown test, man.
And
We gotta do hash browns.
And it's like literally, but so they're low key, all right too. But I think the situation is that people just don't eat the roast beef, man. And it's like it seems like everything of theirs is like roast beef, and it's kind of weird. It's
If they made a roast beef bacon burger, that'd be good. Imagine that.
yeah. Well, the thing is, their roast beef's always a little bit greasy. You know, it's like at least the one up here, and so like it's hot roast beef, and there's so many other great places. Like so, my favorite like go-to food, like if we're getting into like afternoon eating food, is I'm a big deli guy. Like the local sandwich shops, and like
Yeah, 'cause you're a
going
Yinzer.
in, and it's probably it's a Pamani, and it, like but literally we're all about like we have these things up here. They call them Italians. But you guys probably call them like subs or submarines or hoagies. Back in Pennsylvania, they were hoagies, sometimes called submarines. But up here, they're called Italians. I don't know why they call them Italians, but that's what they're called. And there's actually like you can go and get like a real Italian at this place called Amato's, and it's basically ham, cheese, tomatoes, pickles, and that's it. And I mean, it's kind of a bland sandwich if you want to ask me, but. Then there's other places you can go and you get like hots on them and stuff. Oh man, they're so good. And it's all about the bread.
Bread. Oh yeah. Subway.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, man. Not a big fan of Subway.
No?
And those started in the
Never been-
Northeast.
You know, I've never been to Firehouse Subs. You guys ever been there?
Those are very good.
Yeah,
Brunner?
there was when I was living on the other side of town. There was one like down the street right next to Five Guys. That's probably the most about us living on that side of town. But I moved before I could get a chance to go there. But no,
That's hilarious you say that because the Five Guys that we have like one town over is right next to a Firehouse Subs and right a GameStop, which I think's a front for the mafia because no one's ever in it.
GameStop.
Ours is next to Wendy's. I guess the one nearest me. Wendy's is good.
That's another low key good place, man. There's nothing like getting
I
French
always get
fries and a
Wendy's at work.
Frosty. It's all good to
4
go.
for 4.
I mean,
And
It's-
you see weird things at a Wendy's. Am I right, Anthony?
shh. You see weird things at a
There's-
Walmart.
yeah, on our
Some
lunch
weird things
breaks. Remember that kid?
Which one?
Okay, so me and Anthony we used to go out to lunch because I used to
Oh
get out of
yeah, the
school
one that was,
earlier, and so me and Anthony would go through the drive-through, and we'd get food while all the kids who all the kids, high school kids who went there walked. So like the whole inside was crowded, but the drive-through moved pretty fast, and so we used to park. And apparently there's this kid who whose mom whose like parents own like I think it was a Mexican restaurant. And then so
yeah,
there's like an alley. There's like an alley slash like weird quarry thing where like where the restaurants are. Like it gets connected. It's hard to describe it, but anyway. So me and Anthony were just chilling there, and we just see this kid walking, and he just opens up the back door and just walks in. And we just found that the weirdest thing because we're like, what the hell is this kid doing? And then he just
every
straight
week
up
he did.
walks
Every
in.
time we saw him.
Every
Oh,
time we saw him.
we
Every
did that,
time we went to
saw him.
Wendy's, he was there.
Wow.
Must have got a good lunch though.
It was a good one. It was
Free
just
lunch,
weird
too.
because I'm like, I should just walk up and just grab something in the kitchen and just dip.
Dude, it's crazy. I see these videos like on TikTok or on YouTube, and these people are like going nuts in fast food places, man. Like I saw this lady at she wanted silverware and some extra ketchup at a McDonald's, and they were like, I don't know, for some reason they were giving her a hassle. She starts calling the guy all sorts of names and literally walks behind the counter and starts taking and I'm like, and it's like, and there's tons of videos of these people doing that, man. So maybe that guy was like lurking up, just walking and taking his stuff, man.
That man's crazy, man. People go crazy up in restaurants. I don't know why, dude.
I don't get it, man.
People- Taco
And
Bells,
especially during this time when we're in a pandemic, when like literally
Taco
everybody's
Bells.
running out of supplies.
Yeah,
And like,
dude.
because I went to Whataburger one time, and then they're like, "We're out of large cups. Like, we have no large cups. All we have is a medium cup." And it wasn't even a medium Whataburger cup. It was like a cup you get at a hotel when you go to get hotel breakfast, and they have cups on display for like coffee, stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was like one of those, and I was like, "What?" Because I'm not complaining, because I get it, I understand. Like, we're in a pandemic and we're in a crisis, but. I found that interesting. I thought it was crazy. So they just grabbed whatever.
What blows my mind is the whole pandemic thing in general. Like me and my wife were talking about it, and she was like, "So, it's taken us 5 weeks to get the toilet paper that we like. Right now, we're in a toilet paper shortage again," and I'm like, "Why?" It's like,
Yeah.
and then like I was saying to my wife, what blows my mind is the stuff that was hard to get. It's like, why that as opposed to like something like you know what I mean?
Like food.
It was like some of the weirdest stuff that people were like hoarding, and I'm like, can you imagine there's some people right now out there that literally have probably stocked up 5 years worth of toilet paper in their house. And it's like, the guy who, did you ever see the video on YouTube where the guy was he bought a bunch of hand sanitizer, and there was like, he literally and then he was trying to scalp the hand sanitizer, and then he got a bunch of blowback from people, and he got taken off of I don't know, what are those sites you can sell stuff on, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Yeah.
And they basically banned him, and he ended up having to donate it all to the school after he spent thousands of dollars on hand sanitizer. And I'm like, why are you trying to profit from this, dude? If everybody would have just took their fair share, there would have been an issue. It's like, why do you have to have 15 packages of toilet paper? That's a lot of shitting.
Yeah, I want to go back to resellers real quick, but to bring up like another thing too is, I don't know if it's done or like if the shortage is done, but there is like a shortage on Heinz ketchup, and like McDonald's had to switch over to like they're back to like in the 90s before they made a deal with Heinz. But it's like, and because I saw a video talking about it, and they said they knew, like they were aware that there's going to be a shortage, and they're like they could have done this to prevent the shortage, but they didn't. Another thing too is like why this is like maybe 3 months ago, 2 months ago when this came up. But it's like, why is it happening when when vaccines are going out rather than when there was no vaccines, when everybody was in lockdown,
It's so weird to me. It's like,
For clout.
it made me officially think world would go to in 5 days. Like
Oh yeah.
literally, it's a so like Jack, one of his favorite foods is for some reason is Campbell's tomato soup. Okay,
It's good.
it's a weird
I like
food.
it.
Yeah, it's good food, but he only likes the kind that you can kind of like. It already comes in a little thing and you heat it up in the microwave. He doesn't like the can where you like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
dude. Those things were like out of the. You couldn't get them in a store for like 5 months. And I'm
Wow.
like, soup? Really? Like, do you remember
Yeah.
like when the pandemic first started? You'd go to the grocery store and the whole soup aisle would be completely empty, no soup.
Oh, and there's I don't know if you guys know. There's apparently I don't know if it's down here, but there's a Gatorade and Powerade shortage down here.
Oh, we
It's
don't
like-
have that.
Because no,
You have
because
that?
I went to the store. I went to the store and like there was none. Like the shelves were empty, right? And then so like even at fast food places who have it, I would like they'll be like, oh, we're out. Like McDonald's, they're like, oh, we're out of Powerade.
Huh?
And even Burger King, we're out of Powerade.
That I haven't experienced that down here.
Now
Yeah,
To be honest with you.
we don't buy it like that. So like we buy it. I mean, my kids drink that stuff by the pound, and because of
yeah.
Jack's situation, that's what he uses to regulate his highs. And so like when he goes low playing football, he drinks. So we buy it like big jugs like this. It's a powder, and then you put it in, and like we have those bottles that are like those squishy football Gatorade bottles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have probably like 20 of those things. Seems to be floating around. And then like Jack got it. So do you remember on 2K you can make your customized Gatorade bottle?
Yeah.
So we got one, and Jack has his own. And then last year the NFL did one, so he has a Carolina Panthers one. That's like a customized, and it says Jack on it. And so
Nice.
yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean,
Wouldn't know.
and then he's got this new thing. Have you seen the new Gatorade bottles?
The one
So
with
he's got
with
this
the little
Gatorade
shot thing in it.
Yeah, you put a little thing in, and you squish it down, and it goes, and it's that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
It's cool, yeah.
I mean,
Haven't seen those.
different. I mean, I always say every Gatorade flavor tastes the goddamn same. So,
What's?
okay.
But I would say, in your opinion, what's the best one?
I'm old school,
Your favorite?
lemon lime.
Yeah, would
I
say
agree.
too.
Oh yeah, no argument there. Or
It's
cucumber.
It's literally, I lemon lime or fruit punch.
Lemon lime or blue?
See, the blue, to me, it tastes just like the fruit punch. And maybe I just don't have the taste buds. Maybe it's just like, and like the kids every once in a while will buy the ones. Have you ever seen the Gatorade? Do you guys have the Gatorade Zeros? Just like
Yeah, we have them down here.
no sugar, no carbs.
Yeah.
So we get those sometimes. But to be real honest with you, it's so darn expensive buying the bottles as opposed to just buying that powder. The powder's like $12, and it's gonna last you like a month and a half. And I don't know. Those bottles, you could spend $12 on a case, if not more,
Yeah.
and they're gone.
Yeah, we buy cases down here.
And
So my
it's-
brothers play baseball, so we got like cases of Gatorade Zero
Yeah,
down here.
you know-
got like 12-pack right now.
You know Gatorade's the worst thing for you, right? It doesn't really do anything for you.
That's what they drink.
I know it is. It's
Gatorade or Powerade? No, Powerade.
and it's
That's my fault.
it's funny is that
Well, the same thing.
it's all about, but they always want water. Water's the best thing for you, and it's,
What is it? What is the difference between Gatorade and Powerade? That's what I want to know.
they both have sugar in them, so they can't be either one's not good for you.
There it is. Might as well drink a Capri Sun on out there. In the
Yeah,
fields.
it's literally. Now the thing that they do is so, the Karen runs. My wife runs. She runs about 12 miles a day, something like that, 8 to 12 miles a day. And so she has this stuff where she gets now that runners drink, and it's pretty cool. Is you have a little packet. It's like a little tube. You rip it open, you dump it in your water bottle, like your Nalgene bottle or your Yeti or whatever, and shake it around. And it's basically salt. And you're like, what? And you drink it, and what it does is it replaces your electrolytes, and it replaces everything that you've lost running when you sweat. Because basically sweat is salt. If you ever like lick your hand after you sweat, it tastes salty. It's because you're basically salt's leaving your body, and you need to replenish that. And so that's why the Gatorades, they have electrolytes in them and stuff. And I mean, I guess they're a point. I think it's a cool story. The Gatorade story is cool. But I think how it was invented was kind of cool. But I think that
The Doritos story is cool too.
how did the Doritos stories happen? I don't know.
It was made in Disneyland. There's a stand in Disneyland, and they were so famous. There's like Bounce.
Really?
They offered him a contract to go to Florida, and then when they offered him that contract, that's when Walt died. They just made their own company.
Wow.
But they started out in Disneyland.
The original one was awesome. The original like nacho one.
Yeah.
And then
The original nacho.
and then they had one that was like a taco flavored one. And then for the longest time that was it. And then then Cool Ranch came on the scene. I remember those like
Last time I ate Doritos, I threw up, so never again.
yeah. Did you ever eat them at Disney World or Disneyland?
I did. I never had it. I don't think they have them. They have them there now as like the regular bag, but the stand is not there anymore. Had churro. I had a fruity pebble churro. That was wild.
So
Good.
So how is Disneyland different than Disney World? Have you ever been to Disney World?
So, I've never been to Disney World, but Disney World has like so Disneyland has Disneyland and California Adventure, and Disney World has Disneyland, California Adventure, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. That's where Avatar Land is.
So it's bigger. It's basically
Hollywood
bigger.
Studios.
They don't have California.
Yeah, it's bigger.
They don't have California Adventure in Disney World. It's Epcot,
No, it's Hollywood Studios, right?
MGM,
Yeah.
Epcot, the Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, there it
I
is.
think that's it, right? 4. It's weird because when I went like I was older when I went. We didn't go as a kid. Even when we lived in Florida, we never went. I don't know why. My parents must have been cheap, and so I went down with when I was probably about me and Karen probably together about 3 years, and we went down, and we decided you can't do that. You have to do it like in each park had to be like its own day. That's how big they were. And
Damn.
it was cool, but it was also like I could literally walked away saying, okay, check that off my list. I'll probably never do it again. And we've never gone with the kids. And it's like,
Really?
yeah, it's like, to me, it's like, it's just so darn expensive. And it seems to me like all you do is stand in lines. Like literally, if I sat and logistically figured out how many rides I probably rode in a day, I probably rode 10 rides and paid $75 to do it, because you're standing in line. Because everybody wants to ride the good rides, right? You want to go like Haunted Mansion, or you want to go like the Tower of Terror, or you want to go. I don't know if they have these at Disneyland, or the Rock and Roll roller coaster, and and you're standing in line.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if you heard about this. They have this new thing, dude. It's like you basically pay $20 each person each day, and you could skip lines.
Yeah, they had something back then too with the Fast Pass, and it was
the Fast Pass. This one you had to pay for it this time.
And but it was one of the things of what the cool thing you could do is back in the day when I was there, you used to be able to like register, and they would say, okay, come back at this time. So like you would go I'd go to Tower of Terror, and they'd be like, the line starts. You've got an estimated hour and a half wait time. Or you could sign up and come back, and you get to go to the front of the line, but you can only be signed up for one ride at a time. And it was like, okay. And I don't know. It just to me is like, I think if I'm going to go straight out rides, I guess for me is the ride thing is I'm going to go to a Six Flags, or I'm going to go to Universal, because they're really just much more about rides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight out. Disney is like the whole experience you're immersed in. If I had to hear one more flippin' Disney song after 4 days, I'm done. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and it was like,
I'm sure you can't see with this quality.
it was cool. Like it was cool. Like getting the autograph book, running around and seeing the characters and stuff. I mean, there's things that were kind of cool about it, but there was also like, I got kicked out of the park almost because I jumped on a land speeder, a speeder bike. So they had like over in the Star Wars section, they had like these speeder bikes that were like kind of, I don't know if they were real ones that they actually used. I don't know. I jumped over the fence. Got a picture of me sitting on one. Security's like, get the heck off that. Da da da. But hey, I got the picture. That's all that matters.
Hey, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get kicked out.
And dude, but now it looks like if you go online, man, it's like everybody and their brother's getting kicked out for stupid stuff at those places.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
And
What
I
a thought.
miss, because you brought up Six Flags. Yeah, I like that's what we used to do is we would go San Antonio every summer, me and my brother, because like we'd get the season passes because it's cheap. Like every holiday we'd go, and then like you said, it's like waiting around in the ride. So what me and my brother would do is we would, because like the park was small, like smallish, medium. And then what we do is just run straight to the back because everybody's going to run and get on the first ride. That's
Exactly.
the first ride closest to them. So we just run the back and then make our way down to the front. Anthony,
it was
do you have any,
Smart.
Anthony, do you have any amusement park life hacks?
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure I don't know if I said this in the podcast. I've been at Disney many times, but waking up early, that used to be my thing back then, like in 11, like 11,
11.
Odd 11.
11, 12. But like nowadays, everybody wakes up early. We used to wake up like at 6:30, get there early, and honestly, everybody would just go for Indy, so we would just go for Pirates because it's farther, like you said, because Indy's there, and then the other one right there. But now, honestly, I can't even give you anymore because now you have to pay for everything. Have you guys ever been at Knott's Berry Farm?
Yeah,
No.
I have.
No?
No.
Is it fun? I stayed
is.
right in front of it.
It is.
Have you seen the hotel that's like across the
Yeah,
street?
I
from
know
it?
what you're talking about. Yeah.
I stayed right there when I went to Disneyland.
It's
you-
fun. Traffic's horrible, but like it's like a Six Flags type thing, where it's just pure rides. They try kind of immerse you, like into like what they have, which is the Peanuts
old time-
cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, it's Peanuts. Oh, I thought it was like old timey shit.
Yeah, it's old timey / Peanuts, like whatever they can get. But their majority thing, like their mascot is Snoopy.
Oh,
Really?
I might like
Yeah.
that then. Jack's a big Peanuts fan, but it was
Yeah, they have like Peanut stuff. It's a lot of Peanut stuff.
But it was to me, as I always think of Knott's Berry Farm, I think of the jelly because that's how they started out.
Yeah.
So
and then they sell the cookies, and then like
Yeah.
and then they use the like the restaurants that they have, like the pies is from their jelly, and it's super good.
yeah, and that's how they started
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So originally it started as a farm stand with a couple rides out in California, and then it kind of evolved into Knott's Berry Farm. And it was, yeah, I mean, I've been to some cool places, man. I've been to some places that were super cool. So growing up in Pennsylvania and my mom being from Cleveland, every summer we'd go over to Ohio. Now, contrary to what everybody knows in the beliefs or whatever, the roller coaster capital of the world is in Ohio. And it's a place called Cedar Point. And
Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
Cedar Point, they're not all about rides, but they're all about roller coasters. And I think there's, last count, I want to say it was like 25, 30 roller coasters they have there. For the longest time, they had the largest roller coaster. They had the first racing roller coaster called Blue Streak, where you had like two cars racing against each other. And they were the first one to have a corkscrew one. So they're always kind of like on the cutting edge of roller coasters. So I did that one a ton. And then I did Cedar Point, and then right across from Cedar Point was Colonial Lake Park, which is another one that's kind of known in the Pennsylvania area. And then right across from there was SeaWorld. I don't know if you guys have ever been to SeaWorlds. We used to go there a lot.
Never been to see one.
And then,
In Ohio?
yeah, there was one in, it used to be in
Oh, wow.
Aurora, Ohio, I think it was called. Might have been Aurora, Ohio. And so they used to have one in Orlando, one in Aurora, Ohio, and then one in San Diego.
Yeah, they have one in
And,
San Antonio too.
Do they now? I remember when I was a little kid. I did
Yeah.
used to go there when I was a little kid. And then then when I was in high school for 4 years, I worked at an amusement park.
Really?
Yeah. So I started out, for first job I had there, I worked on these things called antique cars, which are those like old timey cars that you basically put the gas in, they're on a track so you can't drive them around. And they're basically for lack of a better word, it's like a lawnmower engine in the back, but you steer them, and it automatically will pull you around if you stop, like mess it up. And then I kind of evolved to running roller coasters and whatnot. And one summer I had to do the worst job ever in the history of creation. And so the theme at this park was they basically had a generic Scooby-Doo. And I had to wear the costume one time. And to this day, I will say that is the worst job I've ever had in my life. It was probably 100 degrees out, and then you put this costume on. Like, I couldn't even picture those people in Orlando, you know?
Yeah.
And the rule was you couldn't go out for more than 25 minutes because it was so darn hot. You'd come in, and then you'd basically go out for 25, and you'd come back to the employee area, and then you would have like a 15-minute break, like take the head off, and like just like unzip your thing and just like cool off, and then you go back out for 25. But so I did that, and you have this person walking around with you. Have you ever noticed at Disney there's always a person like walking around with them?
Yeah.
And that's your handler because you can't see shit in his head. And these little kids would come up and like hit you in the ass and stuff, and by the time you turn around, you couldn't see anybody, man. It was horrible. That was the worst. And then the whole thing was like I was supposed to like go on rides and like sit with little kids and like go on the log flume and shit. And I'm in this big. My head was like huge, man. It was huge. The thing weighed probably 70 pounds. It felt like it was the worst job ever.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese. I can imagine that'd be like Chuck E. Cheese. Humidity in Orlando, man. I can imagine that. That would suck. Let's get paid.
At Pied Piper or Peter Piper, whatever you worked at, did they have like a?
No.
Yeah, they do. They have like a dinosaur. They asked me to wear it one time. I was like,
I've never seen.
I was like
know there's a
claustrophobic.
dinosaur.
They bring it out for like Halloween or like food trips.
Do they like when you have a party there? They have it bring it out. The Pied Piper.
No, they never bring it out. But like in Halloween, I remember my manager when I used to work there. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, someone's got to wear the suit." And I was like, "That ain't gonna be me because I'm claustrophobic." And he's like, "All right." And I wasn't claustrophobic, but I mean,
dude, that sounds like a sitcom. Someone's got to wear the suit. Nope, not me. Finding somebody to wear the suit.
well, I was like, "Not me." Ended up being one of the busters that washed dishes. He's like, "I'll do it." Fucking took off his apron, put it on. Couldn't see shit out there. All the kids were hitting him.
Oh, it's the worst, dude. I had to dress up as Barney the dinosaur one time, too, for a hockey event. Holy Christ. Kids kept stepping on my tail. It was the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Kids are brutal.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, kids lifting up the shirt, seeing a hairy belly and shit. They're like, what the hell?
Dude, so what is it? Pied Piper, Peter Piper? What's the name of it?
Peter Piper Pizza. Shout out Peter Piper Pizza.
And it's basically a ripoff of Chuck E. Cheese, right?
I would say Chuck E. Cheese is a ripoff of Peter Piper.
It's basically a pizza place that has an arcade in the back. I don't know.
So it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, so it's a Chuck E.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy. Dave and Buster's, whatever you want to call it.
Dave and Buster's is a super smart idea. Have you ever been to a Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, it's like a Chuck E. Cheese for adults. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the whole idea was now I can get alcohol and play video games like Chuck E. Cheese stupid video games. Not like cool video games, but like Chuck E. Cheese
Peter
video
Piper
games.
serves alcohol too.
Oh, do they?
Serve beer.
I don't think
Yeah,
Chuck
they
E.
serve
Cheese
like
does.
alcohol.
They don't serve hard alcohol. They don't serve like special
They
drinks.
just serve beer.
Yeah, they just serve beer on
But
tap.
David Buster's serves alcohol.
Yeah, Dave Buster's has like
And
full
beer.
bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got an area like a Buffalo Wild Wings, like TVs and stuff.
Yeah, and they have good food there.
Dude,
That's where I watch the fight.
the funny thing too is, do you guys got Hooters? You got a Hooters down there?
We got Hooters. We got Hooters. You got Twin Peaks up there?
No, we don't. Twin Peaks. We got a tilted.
Twin Peaks is better.
We got a tilted kilt. Tilted. Tilted quilt. Get a tilted kilt. You got one of those down there? There's one in San Antonio.
Killed. No, we don't got one. No, we got.
They basically it's girls dressed up like in a Scottish theme. They're all like wearing like a very small kilt. But the Hooters, the reason I brought up the Hooters is slight transition. They got an agreement with WWE.
Really?
So you can go buy some wings, and you can watch like WrestleMania and all that.
Anthony, how many Hooters are down here? Because I only know the one where the haunted Walmart is.
The haunted Hooters.
No,
What?
the haunted
The-
Walmart, the one where the Walmart got shut
Oh
up.
yeah, there's one there, and then there's one on the west side.
Dude, is
Is
that
there?
haunted now? Is that what people are saying?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay.
There's one on the west side, I think, and I think there's only two, I believe. There's
Yeah.
more Twin Peaks though.
But you know what?
I know-
Hooters doesn't have that good of wings. They're not that good.
Nah, not really. No.
I'm not impressed with Hooters. I mean,
Oh, I want to go back. I want to go back real quick to my life hacks because my dad had some pretty good hacks.
yeah.
Like I don't know how it is for Disneyland, but like if you're a season pass holder for Six Flags, like you can go to any Six Flags in the U.S.
yeah.
Because we
That's
would
how
do,
it is for Disney.
Is
too,
it?
yeah.
Because
Well, there's only one Disneyland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know there's one for Six Flags. There's one like California. I know there's one in Georgia.
There's one.
and
There's one in
Texas.
Massachusetts. Six Flags over New England. It's awesome.
So like, because so my dad, he bought me, my brother, and him one, and we told him, we're like, hey, we're gonna go to California, and our uncle's going, and like my uncle, he didn't have a lot of money at the time, so what he did is my dad, he put my uncle's name on his season pass, so we took him there. And then we showed him the season passes, and the guy's like, "This isn't you." And then so my uncle pulled out his ID, and he's like, "Yeah, look, that's me." And then I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a theme park, It's not like they're not gonna take it serious, so they just let him in. So I thought that was hilarious.
Dude,
And then
That's smart.
yeah,
it's funny.
Go ahead, Lee.
It's funny you say that because like, I think it was easier to do that shit before. Now it's like they got like your thumbprint and like all this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
they
it's
took
so
our thumbprint too, but like
It-
they didn't
Really?
check you.
it's so weird now, man. Like back in the day, like I remember when I was a kid, dude, our driver's license were like laminated with two pieces. You basically just peeled up the corner, changed the date, or changed the picture to like a friend of yours who was 21. Boom, sealed it back up. You're good to go. Nowadays you like walk in, like our licenses, and nowadays like when you go to a bar, they scan the back. It's got like a barcode. They know it's real. It's like what? I don't know, man.
And another life hack he would do is because like when we were small, he would take us, and like he wouldn't do those like kiddie rides, like he does the grown up rides. So if we were too short, what he would do is he would get like napkins from like whatever places, and he would put it in our shoes, so our shoes would be stuffed with napkins till we hit the bar.
Oh, dude, I will tell you the funniest story. We went to a place. So there's this really cool place in New Hampshire. And picture this for little kids, okay? What's the biggest complaint about little kids going to Disney World or going to anywhere is there's hardly any rides for them, right?
Yeah.
And everything's
Yeah.
everything's made for bigger people. Like, is that fair to say?
That's true. Oh yeah.
So there's this place in New Hampshire. It's up in the White Mountains. So it's super pretty. Like, you're in the mountains. It's awesome. And it's called Storyland. You got to Google this. Storyland, New Hampshire. Everything in there, every ride, every bathroom, every store, everything, anybody over the age of 2 can ride.
It's closed right now.
So, yeah,
Really?
of course it is close, but it's dark now. It's summertime. Summertime's over up here. So literally, like they have roller coasters, and they're made that grown-ups can fit on them, but also little kids. So they had this new roller coaster, and it was called like Raptor Falls or something. It was like whatever. And so we took Anna, myself, Jack, and Karen were on it. And I love roller coasters. Anna loves roller coasters. Jack and Karen, not so much. So literally, she was so tiny, I had to like muckle onto her because I thought she was going to fly out of the damn thing. It has a corkscrew. She was coming up off the thing like this high off the seat and like going, whoo. And I literally had to pull her back at one point. Felt like I had to muscle her down because I thought she was going to fall out. I'm like, I don't know. We'll do that. We'll ride one time. That's it. She's like, can we go back on? I'm like, no, we're good. But it's such a really kind of cool place. And then there's a place right down the road from it called Santa's Village. And in the summertime, that's where Santa Claus lives. and it's another amusement park for little kids, and Santa Claus is there, but it's like a Christmas theme in July. It's kind of weird, actually.
Have you guys ever been to Legoland? Sorry to interrupt.
No,
But
I
No.
never. I want to go
No?
really bad. I do.
really?
I that's one place that I think that I would kind of. I love Legos. Everybody in the family loves Legos, so to me, I think it'd be kind of cool just to go to Legoland. But I assume it's just an amusement park that sells a shitload of Legos, right?
It has some roller coasters too.
Because to me, it's like we have Lego stores up here. Have you ever been to a Lego store?
I don't think we have a Lego store up here. No.
And-
I've been to one, but not down here.
And they're pretty cool. Like you can go in and like get custom, like your own custom minifig. You can go in and buy like certain special. Like it's so cool. Like they have these bins of every color of Lego, every size of Lego, and you can literally go out and buy like, hey, you know what? I need a 6x4 block in blue. You can buy just that one block, and then they have every Lego set ever made inside the store that you can
wow.
buy. So it's pretty cool. That's where Jack has got a. Holy Christ, man! That kid's got tons and tons and tons of. And I really wish the one. And sometimes Legos go into retirement. And we were down to Lego store in Boston, and we didn't buy it at the time, but they had the Simpsons Quickie Mart. And I wish you would have bought it because now you can't get it unless you want to pay a real lot of money because it's retired. But
They're taking out the Simpsons in Universal. Did you guys know that?
where are they going?
Probably Disney. I'll probably put them in Disney somehow.
Because they're on.
Yeah,
are
that's
they on
right.
Disney Plus?
Yeah,
It
because
is.
Disney bought
Yeah.
Fox.
Oh
sucks.
wow!
I mean, they should just put it back. Did you ever go to Universal when it was Back to the Future anthem?
I never have, dude, but I
It's
wish
so
they should put
good.
that back, dude.
They should put it
I
back.
wish they should put it back. We might go to Universal too when
yeah.
we go down there. So.
I just want to
We'll
add
see.
one last thing, because I said I used to we used to stuff napkins in our shoes, but recently, well, and then because we did that, I rode the Tower of Terror when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Because there was napkins in my shoes. Yeah, I was literally doing what you and your daughter were doing, and my brother just did that recently to his son, where his son was too short for the ride, so he busted out the napkins.
Dude, I will tell you. So everybody here has been on Tower of Terror, correct?
Yes.
Multiple times.
Correct.
R.I.P.
Yes.
Okay, I went on it one time. It's gone. They don't have the ride anymore.
They have it, but it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's been gentrified.
In
Okay.
Florida, it's still there though.
All right.
Actually, no, it's not.
So, I swear, hand to God, to this day, unless my mind was playing tricks on me, because the whole workup of the elevator and et cetera, so forth. Not to spoiler alert, but when you got to the top, right before you had the drop, and the doors open, and then they close, and then you drop, and they open again. But at the top, wasn't there like ghosts there?
In the first scene, yes, there is.
Okay.
And then you drop down, and then you go all the way up, and then you see the city, and you drop.
Okay. So there was ghosts. Okay. My wife says there was not, and I'm like, dude, there was. And she's like,
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty
Do you
sure
guys have Disney Plus?
yeah.
Watch Behind the Attraction. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, produced this. It's an awesome show to watch. They explain like the history and of the each ride. They have a Tower of Terror one, and then they put a lot of dedication into that. And the story is supposedly that lightning struck there, and they fell down and they died. And they're the ghosts of the people that died that you're seeing.
Yeah, the bellhop and somebody. It was
Yeah. The bellhop, the celebrity, the little kid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm right. You're wrong, Karen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then, but it's actually crazy because in China they don't allow that, so they have to change the story up. So it's like about something different. Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty interesting.
It's funny is that it's funny is I do know this too that the Haunted Mansion. There's something to do with the Haunted Mansion. There was something that they had to change something over in China, but you also in the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. I don't know about Land. You could pay extra, and there's a different place you get to go.
Whoa.
and like you can have like there's a restaurant in there and stuff. And did you also know that at both Disneyland and Disney World, there's something called like some special number club
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's like
Yeah.
I
thousands
know
of
what you're talking
hundreds
about.
of thousands of
Yeah,
dollars to be a
$1,000.
member,
Yeah, to join. Yeah.
and it's like super uber expensive. And like there's this place that you can go that's like this really high end swanky, like you can't, you have to wear like a suit and
You
stuff
have
to go in.
There's a dress code.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what? Disney World?
Have you ever in Pirates of the Caribbean? You know how? Have you ever been in the Pirates of the Caribbean, both of you guys?
Yeah, I've been on the Pirates.
Yeah, you know how there's a restaurant inside?
Yeah.
Both Disneyland and World? Yeah. Have you ever ate inside that restaurant?
No.
It's pretty good.
So
Honestly, pretty
long
good.
time.
You have to stay quiet, though.
I might be the only one. I might be the only one who's done this because you guys don't have an Epcot over there. So
No.
the cool thing about Epcot Center is they have different countries.
Oh, yeah.
So like you can have breakfast in Canada or China or England or and like they have like different places, and then what they do is they get food specifically and drinks and stuff specifically from that place. So like we had fish and chips in England, and then we had,
Yes.
and then in the afternoon or evening we went over to Asia and we had like some Asian food, and it was super cool. Like it was just like that was a cool. There is things like Disney does really cool. I will have to say, like I just wish they weren't so darn expensive, and it wasn't so.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so to me like I looked into it to do a family trip for us to go because I would stay in the park because you get that extra hour each way. It was going to be for us to stay in the park, tickets and everything, airfare and everything, about $15,000.
Yeah, same for us here.
That's
That's how much we're paying to go in December
and that's
for 4 days.
and it's like that's not really like and I know people that do it like every year, man. That's their trip, and I'm like, that's cool if that's your gig. But shoot, man. And I heard one time I think I get a discount because my birthday is the same as Mickey Mouse's.
Hey.
So, fun fact: Walt Disney World opened up on my birthday, November 18th, 1971, because it's Mickey Mouse's
That's a
birthday.
good one.
And
That's awesome.
And I'm like, well, he's like born, like he was created in the 30s, but that's the day they happen to open it up.
Yeah, he's created. He's gonna be public domain soon, so I wonder how Disney's gonna. Disney's
Yeah,
gonna handle
because
that.
what is that done by generations, right? Certain amount of generations.
It's every 100 years. For like, I don't know because I know like if a
patenting that
musician
shit.
dies,
I'm patenting it.
like if a musician dies, every like and 100 years passes, their work is in the public domain. So I think Mickey was created 1923, so now it's gonna be 2023.
I think it was 1932, but it was, but yeah,
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
it was definitely like it's a long time ago, for sure.
I'm sure Disney would do something about that. But you know what? You know what's cool that I'm going in December, so they're doing. Be sure to get the hot chocolate there. That's for sure.
1928.
Oh yeah.
So in 7 years, he's gonna be in public domain, I think.
Wow.
Which is
Be
crazy.
sure to do something about that.
It's funny to me is I don't really get the whole. I guess I just never really am one of the people that got the whole like. Even back in the day, I wasn't. Steamboat Willie was first released November 18th, 1928.
Because like, have you ever been on the Indy ride? I love the Indy
Yeah,
ride. Pirates
dude.
Ride,
One
Splash
time,
Mountain.
I was on the Indy ride one time. Fun fact, and we were so close. You know when the fire comes out,
Yeah.
dude, felt like it burnt me. It was so
The
darn
snake used to
hot.
scare me.
It was like whoa. I was like, holy camole. They used to do the like. I highly suggest sometime, Anthony. You like Disney? You should make a trip to Florida because the MGM they do this thing called the back lot tour, kind of like what Universal does in California. So a ton of shit is filmed in Orlando at MGM. Almost for the longest time, almost everything from Nickelodeon was taped there. And you could do a tour, and you could see like the Golden Girls house. You could see where they like did the Double Dares tapings and like all that stuff. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I saw a dude. Before we go, I saw a dude on YouTube when they had the old Nickelodeon studio, and it was just like before they officially tore it down. Like it was just empty. A dude just straight up and walked in there and like
Yeah,
recorded himself there.
it's pretty
Because
cool. They
like even the like the what you call it, like the buttons for like the handicapped for the wheelchair people. Like it was like he just pressed that, the door opened. He rode the elevator. He went to like
Wow.
every office, every like theater, every
I had a
like wherever it
buddy.
was unlocked, he went in there.
I had a buddy of mine somehow when he was at Universal got off the tram or whatever they have, whatever you
The
call it, the
tour
little thing that brings you around
Mhm.
at the Psycho House, and
I've walked the Psycho House too.
he has pictures, and it's like so he comes around the thing. There's nothing there, man.
Yeah.
It's just empty. It's like there's no. It's like basically like two sides of a house, and then it's like completely empty on the back. And I was like, "What?" Now the hotel actually had rooms
Yeah.
they used because that's where a lot of the filming was. But they actually did the filming scenes for the movie Psycho in a Victorian house in Los Angeles, California. But they used the outside that was there. Pretty crazy, right?
That's crazy.
And thank you guys so
Universal.
much for listening and supporting us with your listens. And we'll
Yes,
see you
thank you.
guys in the next one.